Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Rylyn Dare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and tonight I'll be playing Jacqueline Duron of Clan Ventru.
And I'm Eleanor Thurston. I am Lady Marif, and I am playing Eleanor Thurston of Clan Malkavian.
Good evening. I am the Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I am definitely Urian tonight, and I'll be playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
I'm Gavin, at least until the credits roll, and I play the Marcade of Clan La Sombra.
I'm Mickey Bear, and I play Sam Grant of Clan Bruja.
So when we were last with this motley group of jokesters, they had an interesting night. First, they were summoned by the prince and read a riot act. I think he used the word fuck at least 22 times. And then they came back, I guess they had a bit of a bonding moment there. Then people went their own ways because, no, they're kindred. And every kindred has their own agenda. And though they, as a coterie, will work together, they also have to pursue their own various issues that come up. And we're going to skip ahead some time from the last episode. As always, it's an indeterminate amount of time. But I believe this night, the coterie has decided to once again gather in the club. And it's an open club night. A rather busy night. Place is packed. I think this would be the first time Jenny's been in a place when it's packed. And Jenny, you get to see it's full of kind. I mean, the bodies are packed in there, a lot of sweat, a lot of emotion running. And we're going to skip to the coterie has gathered in their conference room. And I'm going to turn this over to the players to have their scene.
I know I'm the new one here, and not to put a damper on everyone's happy up moods or whatever, but Noah's charters is backed by some big money. And it looks like it's probably kindred money.
What is this about Noah's charters?
Sorry, that was Sam's project, the SI individual.
Hold on. You said Noah's charters.
Yes.
Let's start at the beginning.
Please.
Track down where, with some that lovely voodoo that Bosco does, track down the SI handler and to his office space, or at least where his cover is, and backtracked that to where he started out the night at, presumably, if unless I'm mistaken about how that works. Bosco, feel free to correct me.
No, you got it.
But it went to O'Hare, to a building called Noah's Charters, and immediately a charter and freight company at an airport. That's not some spy shit right there. That's totally import export company. That's totally not spy shit. So yeah. So at that point, Eleanor took over and used the power to get a gander at it, and it was warded to high heaven.
Any
So that means
idea
there's-
against what?
Ladies and gents,
Probably our kind.
That's what it seemed like.
and Bosco, just for the uninitiated like me, about how well schooled do you need to be in the sorcery of the sanguinus? Do you have to be to do that kind of award?
That took some serious finesse. That's not a beginner's ward.
So
I was going to say it may not be warded by the inhabitant. The money trail tipped off somebody with sovereign holdings. They found that my man was digging, and he kept digging, but he found that they were looking back at him. So if I'm going to put one and one together, it probably means that our fair city seneschal, or at least, well, possibly the prince, but I don't want to assume anything, are tied into Noah's charters.
Or perhaps someone who is using the seneschal as a scapegoat.
Perhaps.
Because
I would hope.
seneschal, excuse my French, but he is not that fucking skilled with tech like that. But it's not to
Well-
say he doesn't have other contacts that deal with that for him that might be involved.
True. I would assume he has someone on his payroll doing kind of like what my man does for me. So
That's good
that was-
information. It's also good information on the ward.
but I was just going to say that with that bit of information, it's possible that they paid for a ward instead of.
Oh,
It
yeah,
does
but the mere fact that there is a advanced, let's call it an advanced skill set being brought to bear to ward a building where an agent of the Second Inquisition presumably lays their head, there's, some shenanigans going on. And I'm not talking about, fun shenanigans. I'm talking about like tragic and cruel shenanigans. Evil shenanigans, one might say.
Other than the warding, anything else unusual about the building?
The windows were spray painted from the inside. Black.
Yeah, the windows were blacked out, and there was a shitty Honda in the parking lot. Thanks to Eleanor, we got the license plate.
Need me to get that run for you?
Yes, please and thank you.
I'll
on
take.
on the slide, because they. If I'm doing some spy shit, and follow my logic here, if I'm doing some spy shit, the information I leave out there is information I want people to find, so that I know if somebody's looking.
Somebody's
for me.
looking.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I get what you're saying. I won't have my people look into it. I'll have someone else do it.
Yeah, and if they can do it real slick and sly,
Mhm.
that'd be.
I can work that.
But yeah, we've got. I don't know, Bosco. Is there a way to tell who cast the fucking spell? Is there like some sort of magical fingerprint that y'all have, or what?
You know, I'd never considered that sort of thing. That's something that would take some study and some research to find out.
Well, the guy running that charter place is ex-military. I can tell you that much. So he's got some connections. Goes by the name of call himself Flyboy. His name's Noah Graywall. And we actually, when we first came to Chicago, Sarah, myself, and Malenkov, her broodmate that she ended up sacrificing to buy our way in. When we came through, we actually came through there on those charters, and Flyboy actually has he's got the ear of the head of aviation for O'Hare, a woman by the name of Felicity Miller.
When you say he's sorry,
Please, go ahead.
when you say he's former, are you talking like your run-of-the-mill aviator, or are you talking like strike groups, 160th SOAR, or anything in the SOCOM community or special operations community?
Now, I can't tell that sort of stuff apart. So I went by default. I'm just going to go with he might know how to handle himself.
Who here is familiar with something called Air America?
Would I be familiar with that, storyteller?
You wouldn't. I'm trying to think. I mean, unless you saw the movie called Air America, you wouldn't. But there was a movie about the whole subject. Trying to think. Other than that, probably not.
Probably. No, I'm not aware.
So basically, it's military pilots get drafted or get pulled in by the alphabet soup, or whatever manifestation that presents itself as, to fly black box missions for them.
Okay, makes sense.
So if this Noah cat, former military, working there, what's this? What Flyboy? What's his story? Who is he? What do we know about him?
Well, what I told you is pretty much what I know about him. But if he's involved in selling us out to the Second Inquisition, then he's seeing a lot of kindred that come through that airport. Maybe all of them. He's got enough information to put a lot of us out of commission.
Is he kindred?
Forever. He is, but I don't know what clan he is. I couldn't glean it when I was in contact with him, and it wasn't very long.
Who arranged your transport into the city? Your delegation?
Tally. And it was apparently he maybe worked with Jackson in order to get it done.
Oh my God, it makes fucking sense now. Of course, Sovereign warded the place. Sovereign's a friggin' red herring. Let's not worry about Alan Sovereign. Okay, so follow me here, okay? Noah's Charters is the hub for freaking Kindred air traffic, right? Because if you've got a guy who is freaking good at clandestine flying, that's the guy you want to be bringing Kindred in and out of the city when you've got to log all your flights.
Especially when you have freaking scans and everything in the main airport itself.
Right. So that's the cover that this cat is operating under, but
he's playing both sides. I see it.
He's got the head of aviation under his thumb, then he can make sure anything and anyone and anyone gets in and out of town without being scanned, asked no questions. And he gets a nice big cut into the son of bitch. No wonder Sanger could get into the city and get out with no problem.
Yep.
Fuck.
So
we need to know who the fuck this flyboy is. We need to know.
I can find out. I have lots of connections. I have been in this city for 16 years building connections.
Again, you're walking in a minefield, Jackie. If you
I understand.
What I'm saying is we got other ways we can handle this. We don't have to put it all on you.
I understand, and I don't expect it. Please do what you can do as well, because I may run into roadblocks. People may clam the fuck up if I start asking questions.
All right. That's a damn good that is a nice beefy theory to freaking operate off of, isn't it? Brain trust. I'm looking at the rest of y'all.
I actually have a question for you, Lamar. Did you meet this flyboy when you came in? Did he personally greet you all? Did he fly the plane, or is he hands off?
He flew the plane.
So he's gettable. He's touchable.
Absolutely.
I was starting to worry perhaps he holds himself up.
And he pulls strings.
Yes, but if he's flying the planes, then he is actually
He's
reachable.
actually reporting to someone else. I guarantee it.
I mean, it takes a hell of a pilot to evade all the nets that exist.
I understand that. I do. I have done quite a bit of air travel. But I'm telling you, he's not operating alone.
Who's he answer to on our side of the coin?
Exactly,
Who's
because
if
he's dealing with the head of the basically air shit at the airport, that's a government connection. He's going to have some connection within our society as well. Because he's playing both sides. I guarantee it. These fucking little shits think they are better spies than I am.
Here's the question. Because Jackson's got to have this guy under his thumb, right? Because, I mean, we're talking about the Prince of the City, right?
Oh, Sam, you crack me up. He also thinks he has Alexa Santos under his thumb, and he does not.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
The thing about Kevin Jackson is that he's not one of these old school Ventrue princes that, that got
handles their shit.
Well, not just that, but he's not the kind that's like, the blood running through my veins makes me automatically just fit to run this place better than you because my grandsire was this guy and that guy and that guy and that person. He's a businessman. For him, this entire thing is just a series of benchmarks to the next promotion.
Right.
So he doesn't have to keep an eye on the guy over there.
He trusts his managers.
He trusts his managers, and then he just, he asks, "Is shit getting done?" People say,
"Yes, sir."
Say, "Yes, sir," and he doesn't have to think about it beyond that. Only when stuff actually starts blowing up does he have to look at that manager and go, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me this?"
Exactly.
Yeah, he's that fucking guy.
He's that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that guy. So he's basically just, to paraphrase, he's basically doing the bare minimum he needs to do in order to make Archon.
Why make Archon when you can end up with just a car or something down the line?
Well, I mean, that's the progression.
I don't even think he wants to be Archon. His opinion of Archons is shit. He hates Archons. He fucking hates the Wolf Pack. Fucking hates them with a vengeance.
Why even bother with any of that when you can literally just be the prince of the best
Jewel of the
Camarilla for the rest of your career? All he has to do is just make sure he hits those benchmarks.
I think he's gunning for the directorate.
What's that?
Elite inner circle of Ventru high-ups. That basically shadow run shit in the Camarilla.
And if you started out with, if you started out where he started out and you're now where he is, that's better than any promotion in Justicar.
That's better than Justicar. It holds more power. It holds more sway.
Yeah, the problem is he's not securing the bridge.
No.
He's not building a bridge. He's slapping freaking duct tape over leaks.
Right. He was handed a city. I will tell you, I was here when he took power. I was here under his predecessor. Eleanor, you were as well. We were both here when Prince Peterson was running the place. Prince Peterson made a fatal error in dealings with the Olympics, caused a financial crisis in the city, and he lost his seat, and Jackson stepped forward. He was handed a city that has been run by gangsters, bankers, and other criminals for so long that it is a fucking mess. And he is one man with this giant domain of a mess. He has to have people he can trust to manage it, because he is one man with a giant fucking domain.
Might I submit, Jackie? He's one man with a giant domain with enough backup that is willing to let him stand up front and slap, like Sam was saying, duct tape over the leaks.
I understand.
None of them want to. None of them want to sit on the iron chair and get your flesh ripped off. But if Jackson were to, again, like Peter said, colossally fuck up, then people will move him aside. Put it this way, I get the feeling that Sovereign isn't as loyal as.
No, of course not.
He's not as loyal as he pretends to be, but
I don't think he would go so far as doing all that.
Jackie, please roll.
Yes?
Wits,
Insight?
politics, please.
Wits, insight, or politics?
Politics, please.
Okay. I'm actually going to rouse. And I succeeded. For a surge.
Assuming you're still having to drag.
It didn't surge, did it? Yeah, it did. Okay.
Yes, it did.
And wow, that is horrifying. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive. 7 dice with 1 success on it. That is actually rather impressive.
There we go. That's better. That's 4. I spent a willpower.
I'm going to point out, just a few weeks ago, Lamar was not this savvy as to Chicago politics.
Thank you. I will pocket that for now.
I'm not, I don't know about the rest of y'all. I'm not here trying to depose a prince. Who runs the city is immaterial to me. The fact that the gatekeeper is in the pocket of the fucking Second Inquisition, the guy who brings people in, opens the doors, as you will. I mean, that's some freaking, That's got to stop. And if he's kindred, that means we need right of destruction, which means
But we don't know who he's working for.
we need to be able to hunt him before we can proceed much further.
We don't know
That
how
means,
deep his protection goes.
well, we can put a bug in the sheriff's ear.
Yes, Jenny?
I was going to say, is it possible for us to have somebody perhaps book a flight out of Chicago via this service? Obviously
Absolutely.
under an alias of some sort, but have one of the passengers be a backup pilot. Basically, we extradite the flyboy himself off of the plane before the plane takes off, and then have the plane continue on to its destination with our backup pilot. I know money could be used in this arrangement, but this way you don't have to destroy him outright, because I don't think the prince is going to say, sure, go ahead.
Or, might I submit, we grease him and his buddy at the aviation office, and then we let the sheriff know, because whoever comes out to bitch that their guy got whacked is going to probably expose themselves as knowing what he was doing in the first place. So they'll either come and try to hit us when we're not looking, or they will shut up and just hope that he didn't sell them out before we got him.
What is the likelihood that Flyboy is a thin blood? I have not seen him around any Elysias.
What I know about thin bloods couldn't fill a fucking thimble, so.
Eleanor, you have something?
I was going to say that flying flights take some time, and of course the scheduling. If he were thin blood, then if he could daywalk, the sun would hold no fear for him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because
Exactly.
if you're, yeah.
And if he is
Well-
thin blood, guess what? It is open season on fucking thin bloods in this city. They are not offered protections.
I suppose another question would be for our vaunted mage here, as it were. Are the thin bloods capable of walking through said wards? Or is that knowledge outside of your purview? I apologize if it is.
Storyteller?
What was the question again? I was answering somebody else's question.
Oh, would a thin blood be subject to one of the kindred wards?
Yes. They have enough kindred blood to set off a kindred ward.
Okay. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Jenny, I think they would be. They wouldn't be able to get through it without any kind of harm. I mean, maybe it wouldn't have the full effect, but I'm sure they'd be affected.
Unless they were named as being able to pass through the ward.
That is true.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking perhaps there was some answer there, but if they can just name someone to be like, you.
Jackie takes out her coin.
Right. See, our coin only reacts to people other than us. So.
We don't set off the wards because of this.
Speaking of which, the coin was not attuned to me. So does that mean I'm setting off the ward?
No, it works as long as you keep it.
Okay. I just...
All right. Do you want me to rendition this cat? Put him in a fucking storage container.
You
for
are on
questioning?
point with this, Sam. What do you think we should do? Use your tactical brain.
Lamar's right. We get this cat, put him in a concrete bunker, And whoever raises a stink about him not being there means that they've got a vested interest. The thing that concerns me if they can ward against us, they can ward against everything fucking else, which means I can't go in there. No one in this room can go in there. No one we trust can go in there. So that means we need to hit them not there.
Wait.
You gotta. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was going to say that brings us back around to the point I was making before of having a fake individual purchasing a fake flight from this person. I mean, you could even shoot. I was even going to argue you could find the right individual, fill them with booze or other persuasions of some sort. I know those tricks exist, and have them take off in the plane. And if the plane crashes after takeoff, then that also solves your other problem to a degree. I mean, Mr. Grant, they're small little planes. We're not talking about some sort of massive fireball or, city-ending
but
catastrophe.
When a plane crashes, FAA, local, Leos, always going to be a federal investigation with the NTSB.
Sure. And if this guy is taking money on the down low and they find his records that he's taking a bunch of money for people and flying illegal flights.
If he's doing it with CIA sanction, then the CIA is going to be all up in our business.
So then when the CIA coming looking for us, if the CIA is funding him anyway and we snatch him and stick him in a box?
It does seem, while being a thin blood makes him, game for being taken, he seems too incredibly valuable to some kindred interests for him not to have protection of some sort.
Yeah, this is why I asked, should I? Because these are the considerations that need to be asked. The broader, because I can get them. I can get them real easy.
I can get more information. Don't make a decision yet. I can get more information. I have... Basically, someone has volunteered to be a mauler for me. And they are knowledgeable of activities and individuals in this city. So it'll be very beneficial.
If worse comes to worse, we could always take Miss Miller and use her to get to him.
Who's Miss Miller again?
The FAA person.
The head of aviation for O'Hare. If she doesn't report to work, he's losing the person that allows him to cover up his bullshit. He's going to be very interested in finding her as soon as possible.
Let me get more information.
All right.
I'm not saying any of these are bad ideas, but let me get more information because we are working in a bit of a vacuum here. We don't have enough information.
Yeah, right about now, the only thing I can say with any level of certainty is that Flyboy is fucking bent like a goddamn sickle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I need to figure out who on our side of things he has ties to. And I know the individual I can ask is not one that will clam up with me. So. Okay. Are we good to put this on pause until I can get some more information?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bosco, from your side of things, can you talk to some people in Chantry, see who it was that set up that ward, and see if you can convince them to cancel it?
I can check around, but my Chantry is too suspect for me to be very comfortable asking that. But I have some people I can talk to.
Be careful.
I wouldn't. Back in DC, the Chantry is fucking legit.
Yeah, it's not here.
Okay. Well, in other news, I have received my formal invitation to enjoy myself at Blue Velvet. Now, we all know, well, sorry, Jenny, you aren't aware yet, but most of us here at this table know certain suspect activities are going on in this place. Basically, they are... One of my American cousins is using a ghoul to traffic individuals in and out of there, but supposedly for feeding purposes. And... yeah. I haven't decided when I'll go, but I will because I need to, basically, make myself recognized as a patron there so that I can start getting some information. And if there's anything I can actually do to dismantle that whole operation that your asshole is working in, Sam, I will. One thing that does concern me about that gentleman, though, is he's been zeroed, as I told you before. Someone has wiped his slate completely clean. Find who did that, and you'll have something.
The part of me that tries to remain dispassionate about all of it and thinks about what's best for this group almost wants to... tries to remain dispassionate. Emphasis on try. I'd just like to point out, downstairs smells great. Like there's a lot wafting through the vents right now, and it's very distracting. I'm just going to put that out there. But I digress.
You do with that information what you will. It is yours to decide what you will do, if anything. But
yeah,
because that is what I do. I gather information. So,
all right, Eleanor, do you have anything? I feel like this has been fucking like secret squirrel spy shit, fucking tradecraft 101. Goddamn, but they didn't count on me bringing fucking magic to the table. So my magic lad and lass. What do y'all think about all this?
Well, I am not a tactician. And I do not do true magic as Roscoe does.
But I believe Roscoe would 1000% say you are very magical.
Oh, indeed. Yes, she is.
You're so sweet.
He just...
He is. Well, I do think we have a little hole in our vision, and more information will certainly help in, well, closing the gap, perhaps, and taking out this personage who is likely, if not already causing so many problems, will indeed soon cause many more problems, given what they must know. I could try to look into the other spaces, but I don't know how helpful it would be.
that is always your choice, Eleanor.
Well, it could create more problems if I look into the other spaces and then say, oh, there are 5 sheep and 3 wolves, and they had a tea party.
That is true. Because then we don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Because what does that mean? Who are the sheep and who are the wolves? And what is the meaning of a tea party? Is that
but the numbers
plane
are
crash?
But the numbers are important.
Oh, yes, indeed.
I think that's Eleanor for get out of town right now before the wolf comes to give you flowers, because cats don't wear pants.
And dogs don't wear tap shoes.
I worry about the idea that's being put forth there. 'Cause you said 5 and there's 6 of us here, and you've mentioned a wolf, and then never mind.
Scandalous.
I could have sworn I saw Destiny's cat hide with pants on one time.
No, cats wear boots, dogs wear pants.
I was
so.
about to say, did Hyde wear boots too?
And carry a little sword, and that's what. Never mind.
I did actually see that. That was cute.
I understood that reference.
All right. So, for those of you who have contacts within the city, utilize your contacts, find out as much information as you can.
Carefully.
Very fucking carefully.
Very carefully.
Trust your gut. If you feel like you feel the teeth of the freaking bear trap closing around you, dip. Get the fuck out of Dodge.
Pay attention to their faces. That is my advice. Pay attention to their faces as you speak with them. Pay attention for little micro expressions. A clenching of the eyes, clenching of the jaw, things like that. Because that will show you that they are displeased by the path the conversation is on.
Don't want none of y'all get hurt.
Little insight into how I work my magic. Very good. Jenny, you got the information.
Yes, thank you so much for that. I'm having my man and I are going through it. We're kind of
Excellent.
plotting a course.
Let me know if you need any other assistance, truly.
Oh, of
I'm
course.
glad to help. Okay. Is there anything else, any other matters of urgency?
This may be a dumb question. Bosco, how ubiquitous is that coin trick? Is that a fairly well-known little doobly-doo, or is that unique to?
Cedric has a ring.
Well, the words that we have on our club, they're pretty unique. It's not something that's in general circulation. But when I was working with Jonathan on those, that's some things I'd never seen before.
If Roscoe would like, he can roll intelligence occult. You can use your specialty of blood magic, of course.
He would like to do that. If I can get fantasy grounds to roll.
Remember, just drag the die because it don't want to fucking double click still. Because of course not. They love updating fantasy grounds and breaking it. Willpower. Far you've got 4. Not bad.
I can roll.
You can willpower 2 dice. You can't willpower 3.
Right.
And I see it did not give you your specialization, so you can roll 1 more die. Roll 1 die. You're at 5 right now. Technically, you can roll that one because you could have willpowered it. So roll that one again. Because it did not give you your specialization. Of course not. Well, you failed anyway. You get 5. Okay, well, with a 5, there's commonly, when words are made, you can designate who does it. You haven't heard many cases ever of an object, it being linked to an object like this. Normally, you have to specify the individuals, not an object. But it's not, If they did it to your haven for an object related, it can be done. So that tells you it is possible.
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, it's a little tricky.
Because I'm thinking, follow my logic here, whoever set up the ward on that place would have had to have given the SI guy a way to bypass those wards, because there's no fucking what I mean by that is the person who set up the wards wouldn't have known that the SI guy was going to be crossing back and forth. So,
Or it's not
Flyboy,
warded against humans.
why would it not be if it's a kindred exclusive thing? Because that's how you keep prying eyes
But if it's
out of your.
warded against kindred entering there. Or to detect kindred coming in there.
Maybe they're not that worried about kind.
I think it. Again, it's if it's me, I want to know I want to know exactly when somebody crosses that threshold, regardless of their make and model.
I get you. I do. I'm just not
So-
sure everyone operates as paranoid as you do.
In my experience, most kindred are twice as paranoid as I am.
Teasing you, Sam.
Fair enough. I apologize. But I mean, so Flyboy would have said, okay, yeah, make these wards, but in order for this to work, I need to be able to pass something out to allow certain people to access, whether it be temporarily or not. And so whoever knows this coin trick, probably the one who set up the wards on Flyboy's joint.
We had assumed that the wards, Roscoe, that you and Jonathan did repair work on and study on and all that, they were done by that Sabbat Tremere that we destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
That was in
Right.
that was in this domain. What if he didn't do it?
That is a possibility.
Because there's something I remember, lovely little conversation I had with a dapper Nos, that he mentioned there were other places like this in the city.
Hmm. He didn't happen to mention which other place.
Of course
did he?
not. I'd have to pay for that.
Ah, okay.
And at the time, I didn't know what I could pay with that he would find valuable.
What do Nos like? What's the coin in the realm of the Nos?
Oh, I know.
Boons.
It's the coin in the realm for everyone.
I'm willing to throw a coin on the table for that.
Oh, I am.
Jacqueline.
I am. I will get information from him because, as I said last time we met, I definitely need to see him. He owes me information at this point, so I might be able to get it out of him.
Because if we can track down who made that ward, we can bypass that ward and get this SI guy where he fucking sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but I'm willing to bet you Homeboy thinks that place is the safest place in Chicago, and that's where his fucking playbook is.
Yep.
We need in that building. My man, I know you are as smooth as buttermilk. Can you apply it to the situation? Find out who fucking cast that fucking ward?
I can spend some time trying to find that out.
When I find out other locations from Cedric, I will let you know, Roscoe.
Okay, thank you.
Holy shit.
No, all there needs to be is an entrance to the Undercity that we could just pop up.
Okay, on my first night here, y'all said that was a bad idea.
It is pretty
Like
much controlled by
suicidal
the
levels?
Norse, from what I understand. I'm sure there's others
okay.
down there, but
We need to be able to get inside that building. That needs to be our, well, not, how do I phrase this? That needs to be a must succeed.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
it's
other
just,
than that, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's just about dealing with whoever he has backing him up inside the building, because Flyboy's ex-military, so he's probably gonna know some people willing to do some bruiser work for him that without being asked too many questions. And that's all supposing he doesn't have actual government thugs on his payroll.
Or worse, private military contractors. Because you got black ops guys, and then you got mercenaries. Take a wild guess which ones are willing to go the extra mile. All right. So we're gonna get more information on Flyboy. We're gonna fucking figure out who set those wards up. We're gonna continue surveillance on freaking Agent Sassy Pants. And what else is on the burners, folks?
I don't know. Sounds like this should be the top priority. So we're supposed to be keeping our head down. Probably be the top priority for the time being.
It is in loyal service we do this. All right.
Sorry, just thinking about the size of.
Oh, it's big.
As far as we know, based on the intelligence we have available, the Inquisition is a very modular entity. The left hand doesn't necessarily know what the right hand is doing.
Exactly.
So the opportunity for us to
Very small. This has to be priority.
we can save a whole lot of headaches if we can get their operational playbook and start utilizing that to weave in and out of their protection nets. Oh God, that would be that would set all y'all up for fucking life. Lamar, you want Lasombra validity? Boom, there you go. Jackie, you want fucking your own private what's the word I'm looking for? Chateau. There you fucking go. Bosco, you want the Library of Alexandria 2.0? There you go. Jenny, I don't know what you want. You're new, so.
I want for nothing, Mr. Grant. If I really want it, I'll just go buy it. So
That is a mood.
And then there's Red over there just grinning away, not giving away any secrets. Got you. See you. You're terrifying. Don't you fucking tee-hee me.
I'm not. I'm simply laughing. That's not a tee. After all, you said it doesn't work on you. What are you worried about?
It's a big red flare flying through the sky, warning me of danger.
Well, I have another appointment I must attend. Mark, could I have a word with you for a moment?
Sure.
Thank you. I promise I won't keep him long.
So Lamar and Jackie step out. We're going to give them their scene. And then I think we're going to go to break after that scene because it'll be a good stopping point. But I'll give Jackie and Lamar a quick scene here.
So what's new, Lamar?
Well, you can keep me as long as you like, but you have to return me at some point.
Oh, do be careful tempting me, darling. I might show you things you've never experienced before.
I like that plan.
So what's new, Lamar?
I mean, things are still kind of shitty, but...
No, you are way too insightful on politics all of a sudden. What's new, Lamar?
Well, I did find a new Mala. However, out of respect for said new Mala, I cannot tell you this individual is.
That is fine.
Because it was one of the conditions. Now, if you guess, that's another thing altogether.
Oh, I have an idea.
Just.
But, yes, excellent. I believe that you will find working with that one not as challenging as your former Mola. Little tip for those. Earn their respect. It's really hard to shake that once you earn it. I've had experience with the like of those.
All right. I'll have to figure out how to do that. Not used to working like that with
Be
people.
honest.
So
Don't try to bullshit them. That's how you earn their respect.
okay, that's fair.
They deal in literal things, black and white. So just be honest. I think it will be good.
I hope so. I don't want to hear the D word or the O word for a long time.
Yeah.
So as long as I can avoid that, I'm okay.
Yeah. Excellent. So good. However, while I won't need to be trying to keep my eyes peeled for potential molars for you now, I will definitely make a recommendation that you start working on your networking. If you are going to build a reputation in this city, you're going to have to network.
That was also suggested to me. And so when one person says its opinion, two people say it,
It's fact.
fact. So how would I go about doing that? Because a lot of people don't want to, have tea.
You start going to Elysia, but not as frequently as I do now. I will tell you, when I arrived in this city 16 years ago, I had the leg up of being a Ventru. You do not have that advantage, but I still had a leg up. But I, even then, because I was new to the city, did not go every single week.
Okay, because that sounds kind of like really
It's very
terrible to do.
pushy. It's very pushy and seen as pushy, and it's seen as aggressive and really go-getter and possibly a threat. So, you go occasionally. And then start building up frequency from there. And if you would like, you can accompany me on occasion to Elysia events.
I'd like that because I don't want it to be weird. Like, oh, why
All
is
of
he
a
now?
sudden you're
Why-
there. Right.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm just showing up.
Yeah.
And I've been reading, and I finished 2 of the books that you gave me. I'm halfway through the 3rd. It's a lot of heavy reading material, but I think I've got some of the dates and important names figured out. So just like, elbow me if I, mess up with Monette or something.
Excellent, Monet.
Monet, thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. Then maybe the next event at the gallery, I will take you with me. And we can test some of that knowledge.
All right, I'm
Make
in.
it a game.
All right.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Excellent. You have a wonderful evening, Lama.
You too. Be safe.
And I think right here's a great spot to go to break. As Coterie had a rather productive meeting because each one had a little bit of information that the others lacked. When they came together and shared that information, turns out complete picture has started to form. So I will see everyone in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. She really is your bad Bathory. I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Let's King Demon, Queen of Hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, youthful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Is your bad Bathory? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you, or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you, or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you, or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, well, Coterie had a nice little meeting, and I guess they had information they got to share with each other that honestly hadn't been shared. And if they hadn't come together, they wouldn't have been able to piece everything they have. Now, this next scene is actually the same night. Jackie has left. She has a meeting to go to. Roscoe has somebody he wants to contact. He wants to send a message to Tracy Graves to arrange a meeting with her. He's been wanting to see her anyway. But in this particular case, after everyone else has left, Jenny and Lamar stayed behind, because it seems Jenny wanted to have a bit of a talk with Lamar. And I'm going to turn that over to those two players at this time.
Sorry for holding you, Mr. Cade. Or do you prefer Lamar?
Lamar.
Perfect. I've been trying to feel out everybody. I know Miss Durand is a businesswoman, and Roscoe is some sort of gigolo, I believe. Mr. Grant is...
Okay, that was good.
Homeless? I'm not sure. But, and Eleanor is a sweetheart. But I was curious what you do, or what's your thing, as the kids say.
My thing has sort of shifted lately because, well, started out as part of the diplomatic mission to join the Camarilla, and that almost got screwed 6 ways to Sunday because of Tally. So I'm in a bit of a rebuilding phase, and I do consider myself something of a businessman as well, but the business is a little different. I actually have a vested interest kind of in the South Side, and basically just kind of carving my own little thing out of Kevin Jackson's pie here. Not that I don't like the guy. I don't particularly care one way or the other who's running this place, as long as they leave me, as they say where I'm from, the fuck alone. So
that's understandable. It's interesting you're interested in the South Side. I've been traveling around, at night, looking at different areas and places, because it's always important to find the next place, the hot location to be coming. And the South Side is a little rough in areas, but I see potential there. So it's interesting that you're talking about trying to create yourself a little place, Lamar's place down there. I don't know how you fit. I'm trying to think about how to put this, because this is kind of just an idea that I've been working in my head. I'll be honest.
Throw it out there.
I don't plan on being in Chicago for the long haul. This is a stopover for the next couple of years or so, while I get some experience, try some new things, get some ventures up and going, and then I will move along. Food trucks, how do you feel about them?
Well, I don't eat, so I'm a little, personally, I'm neutral on them, but I hear they're a hit with, pretty much anyone that enjoys food, which is pretty much everyone, just so you know. But no, as I understand it, they are very popular, and I think something like that on the South Side could definitely kind of bring the community together. Mm-hmm. Which I'd like to do, not too much together, but just enough that, people want to be there, want to come down there, and it makes things a little easier for people like us to find our way.
Well, food trucks are definitely tied into, they have a lot of ties to kind of like urban renewal, if you will, at times, because they're hip, they're cool, people go to them and people talk. I'm probably more interested in setting up some sort of long-term information network. You don't see them very often, but food truck parks are a thing, and they're perfect because you get some trucks, or not you, but you rent them to people or whatever, or you can even own them if you have the capital and you so desire. But you have a space, it's a parking lot, it's got hookups and things, they rent the places, they have their trucks, but then you can either have people there at the food trucks that work there that listen, or you could have people who go and they kind of wander through, but all kinds of people interact with food trucks. So I'm looking at kind of this long-term I'm going to be honest. There's a project I'm going to be launching soon that's not in the South Side. It's close to the South Side. And it is food related. But I'm hoping to use it as a springboard to foster a relationship with the community in that area, so that I can kind of have some goodwill going forward for some other more high-end projects. Gentrification, if you will, it's such a horrible word, but I'm not looking to kick people out of their homes. I just want to make the area a little bit nicer.
I mean, area's nice as it is, but I get where you're going. Because, I mean, who wants to go down, who wants to have a taco and get shot in the head,
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you don't want to have, that's not good for business. That is horrible for business. If that is your business plan, we will go no further. But
oh no, not at all.
I'm giving you a hard time, Lamar. Sorry.
No, it's all right. In fact, I think your business and my business they coincide, because where those food trucks are,
Mm-hmm.
people congregate, and where people congregate, magic happens. And I'm interested in that. So this project that you're working on, you think is going to be a springboard. I mean, are you going to try it somewhere else and then see how it works on the South side?
No. Sorry, my springboard project is an extension. It's a branch of my restaurant chain. It's one of the entities under the holding group that I am like the head of. It's called Phoenix. There is it started in Las Vegas. I've got one in Los Angeles, and I'm going to be opening one here in Chicago. That is what Ms. Durand gave me some information for, individuals to network with in order to facilitate this easier. So it's where I'm trying to locate that is more so that I can start working with the people who are in charge of kind of helping the community and stuff and such. And so it'll give me kind of a template, but the food truck thing is separate in its own way, if that makes sense. But I guess if you're interested in the South Side, that's perfect for me, because like I said, I'm not planning on being here for the super long term. If you are willing to be a business partner, then we could both see our goals fulfilled via this little endeavor.
No, I think there's something here. And I would like to, work with you and figure out how we make this, we take this from concept to reality. But you said, so what kind of the restaurant you're doing, what kind of food is it?
Phoenix is a like modern Americana sort of deal. So, burgers, salads, they do all kinds of the Americana fare. It's hard. When you say Americana, everybody has a different idea. And
yeah.
I leave the menu in the hands of the professionals. It is just, yeah.
Huh?
I may not get to indulge, so I don't necessarily care what's on the menu, but it works. It has worked in 2 other places. It should work in Chicago.
Yeah, then let's put something together, and then you're gonna need. You've got the Prince of Mexico City in your back pocket, so to speak. But all those connections. You probably need like aldermen and city officials to kind of with the permits and getting the permission and whatnot. I'm sure you've got someone working on that for you already. Don't see. Okay. I'd like to maybe introduce your person to one of my people who I guess they could kind of work with as we're working together. Smart young man, looking for a mentor, so to speak.
My man, my ghoul, he would probably, Ginny is going to kind of rifle through. She's got some different stuff. She's going to pull out a different business card from her normal one, and she's going to give it to Lamar. This is the business card for my actual ghoul, Frank. I will let him know that he should be expecting some sort of contact from an individual, but the food truck thing, it's not going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen tomorrow night. It's going to take a little bit of time, and especially since it sounds like there's some sort of war in the South Side. So
yeah, there's some stuff going on down there, and I'd like that to get cleared out beforehand, because we, like we said, don't want to be eating a taco and introduce some extra lead in your diet from the bullets, and they're actual gangsters shooting bullets down there.
We will keep an eye on the situation in the South Side, and then we will start working on the connections before we start rolling these things out, because you want to get the goodwill of the individuals that you need on your side before you're going to break ground. That way you can roll out the process really fast when you're ready to go. And especially because then that way they feel good about taking what is the word I'm thinking of? Giving you a chance, as it were, even if you know it's going to succeed, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. So
I feel you. No, I think that's a good idea. So we keep in touch. We keep this moving. We handle the big stuff with the coterie. We deal with this, and then we let it move from here, because I think this is exactly what the community is going to need after all of this. All the gun violence and everything. I think everybody's going to want to come together. I think this will be the thing they coalesce around, so to speak. So I like it.
I like where your head is at, Lamar. Genevieve's going to put her hand out for a handshake.
Lamar will shake Genevieve's hand.
To our future business venture, then.
To business. I toast you, but I don't drink it. At least not alcohol.
No, it's a hassle. So Okay,
I don't feel so alone anymore.
No, my problem is that I sometimes watch and it weirds people out. So don't do that. I don't know. I don't worry about it. I'm overthinking it. Don't worry about it.
No, it's all right. But I got to ask one question. Mm-hmm. So Fiorenza Savona, like, are y'all like cool? Like, is she like actually backing you up, or is it more of a, well, you don't annoy me, so not again, you can use my name?
No, Fiorenza is my Mala, since we're hearing the Mala word thrown around tonight. Okay. She found me in Las Vegas and made me an offer, and I followed through on that. And it was acceptable to her standards, and so she has been supporting me since then. I will be honest, I'm not ringing her up every night or every other night, because
no,
she is way too powerful to, besides I already have the low jack, because my driver is he works for her. So yeah, he's cool. He's just a little, I think I heard the term himbo before, so I don't take him places. So
yeah, definitely don't. There's definitely some places in town you shouldn't let him go then.
Oh no, it's kind of funny, because most people have a ghoul and they think, oh, the ghoul is their bodyguard. No, I'm his bodyguard. So Yes.
He better be thanking his lucky stars then.
I suppose. He's not getting very lucky when I'm around. So.
All right. Well, then I think we're in good shape here. If you need to get in touch with me, here's my number. He takes a piece of paper and actually writes it down. You may, from time to time, get weird text messages from me. And by weird, I mean like you ask me a question and you see like a X. I'm trying to answer you, but sometimes the whole Asombre thing with technological stuff doesn't always help me. So yeah, I write out a response back and everybody goes, so what does R mean?
Okay, so I have to learn the Lamar code then. So
yeah, and I just found that out a couple of weeks ago. Everybody's been real nice not to bring it up.
Oh, well, I would have told you to your face, but I've been told I'm kind of blunt, so
I prefer that.
Thanks again for making some time. I was just curious. Like I said, I've got a kind of a feel on everybody, but I wasn't so sure about you. I know you liked Fiorenza's comment about the hands. God.
I love that because I believe the hands should be rated E for everyone, no matter who they come from. So
it's not even for the reason that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
tell me that story one day.
I will. I will. We're business partners, or we will be. So you'll find out.
All right.
Have a good night, Mr. Cade. Sorry, Lamar.
Gotcha, Jenny. See you later.
So you all separate. Now, this same night, Jackie already had warned Dredd that she needed to speak with him. Dredd has told her to come to Betty Boop's garage. It's located on the edge of the south side. I was
supposed to be meeting Tyrus, not him.
Well, yes, but Dredd told you to go there because that's where your interface is through Dredd to Tyrus, not directly to Tyrus.
Mm-hmm.
And you were told Betty Boop's garage. It's on south side, but it's on the very edge of south side.
Okay.
And
as I'm traversing there, what do I see on the streets?
Oh, I'll let you roll wits awareness, wits streetwise. Pick one. Let's see what you pick up.
Does my specialty of instincts apply in this?
Sure, I'll let you roll that.
Okay.
Three.
I'll keep that.
There's an awful lot of cars. There's more cars on the street than you're used to seeing. And the funny part is they seem to almost be driving patterns, like they're looking or scanning something.
Interesting.
The only reason you noticed is they're all black cars.
That's interesting. Okay, she'll pocket that.
And when you arrive, it's a very small motorcycle repair place.
Before she gets out of the car, she actually hands the plate number that's written with the car description that Sam gave her to Peter.
Mm-hmm.
During the day, I want you to, I don't know, get a car, something you can get rid of quickly. Call near O'Hare Airport. Report this vehicle for erratic, possibly reckless driving multiple times. Spotted around the city.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem.
And then make sure you use a false identity.
Unask the area afterwards. Got it.
Unask the area afterwards. You know the drill.
Got it.
Because I need to find out information on that discreetly.
That's not a problem. I can do that. But
excellent.
I'll do it tomorrow. You want me to do it more than one day just in case, or?
Yes, actually.
Okay, I'll get a couple different phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And use a couple different vehicles and do it from a couple different places around there.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Okay, that works.
I will put it in your capable hands.
No problem, ma'am.
And she gets out of the car.
And Betty Boop's garage, it has Somebody definitely put Betty Boop's picture up there. Now, you're not sure that anyone who owns the copyright to anything remotely like Betty Boop would be happy with this, but it's still got a picture of Betty Boop above it.
Is it Betty Boop as a pinup on the?
Yep.
Okay.
And there's at least 20 motorcycles parked out front. And as you get up and pull up, you notice that 2 or 3 people on various roofs around the area. There's people standing on the corners, bikers.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that not only is the wolf pack here, but they're here enforced with security running.
I see this.
And Etienne doesn't bat an eye because he's seen enough of the wolf pack at this point that to him it's nothing new. And leaning outside the garage door is actually Dread when you pull up. And when your car pulls up, he waits for Etienne to open the door. And once he opens the door, he actually starts heading over to you.
And I get out and I tell Etienne he can wait with the car.
Yes, ma'am. And Dread comes over and he doesn't give you a hug or anything because he's in public.
Good evening, Dread.
Hello, Jackie. Boss is inside. You're clear to speak. We're running out to your security.
Excellent.
When you're done, just hit the door once and I'm outside. I'm covering this side of the door.
Excellent. If you have a moment at some point after my discussion, I would like to speak with you.
Sure. I mean, I'll be right outside the door. Just, he's in a mood tonight. Watch out. Oh, wait a minute. He's always in a mood.
And at that, she asks, anybody by chance have a beer?
You hear some laughs from the rooftop. I don't think anyone, Betty may have some, Thera, but.
It's fine.
Everyone calls her Betty, but her name's Thera, but.
Hey, it's fine. I'll go in. It'll be fine.
And he reaches down, he opens up the big door that slides up the garage door to let you inside. And once you step inside the bay, he closes the door behind you, and there's about 4 motorcycles in various states of disassembly being worked on in there. But he's just standing there, leaning up against the wall, smoking a cigarette.
Mm-hmm. And Jackie will walk up to him.
Hey, Jacqueline.
Hey, Dyrus, you wanted to speak with me?
Yeah. You see, I know your boy has been doing some interest down here. And in case you didn't notice, seems to be a war brewing. Now, I'm going to say some things here about that war that your boy needs to keep out of, keep his head down. Frankly, I want to know if he knows anything about this shit or if you know anything about this shit. Because this place is a powder keg about to blow up. Now, I know half of what's going on. I need to know the other half.
Well, lucky for you, I know the whole story.
Oh, you do? Well, this will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes his cigarette out and he throws it on the floor and steps on it. What do you got?
The war brewing has already actually started. It is not yet ramped up to its full crescendo. It is between the One-Eyed King and Alphonse Capone.
When you say that name, no, it can't be. Hal's dead.
No, he isn't.
No.
No, he isn't.
Alexa killed him.
Alexa must have lied.
Look, that's the word we've all got. Alexa killed. That was one of the things when Jackson took the throne. One of the requests from, let's just say, people senior
Indeed.
to him was that he was a masquerade problem and to remove it.
Yeah, should have never been embraced to begin with.
I agree on that. He sent his little dog down there and she came back saying she killed him.
Yes, well, unfortunately, I received word from one of his descendants that he survived and was rebuilding his organization by all things I witnessed, including calling in a descendant that was under a blood hunt because he's so desperate for generals and sergeants in his organization.
Now, let's see. I don't know what game that bitch is playing. But, in fact, and you say the one-eyed king,
Yes, I know who he is.
and he looks at you and his eyes harden a bit. Do you really know who he is?
Oh, I had the pleasure of speaking with him. I could tell. I'm Ventru, remember?
That makes two of us who know who he is. You know his mental state?
Yes, he is madder than a hatter.
Yeah.
He is overly paranoid. Madder than a hatter, he is driven by his ego and ambition.
See, here's the thing. I knew who he was. Figured that out already.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know his intentions. God damn it if I couldn't fucking find him. Pain in the ass to get hold of.
Yes, well, he decided to send his people into my coteries domain.
Well, he would. Problem is, he's known to hold some grudges. And I get the impression he don't like us much. See, the Lupine attacked him, and that was our job to prevent. Might see where it makes him a bit of a problem. Told anyone?
I reported the one-eyed king to the sheriff. Nothing was done about it.
No. They say Damien's competent, but
I do not question Damien's competence. I question who's keeping him blind.
I see where you're going with that. I don't like the implications.
There are agents of chaos at work in this city, Tyrus.
That I agree with. And if that fucker Capone's alive, now let's just say, changes the ball game a little bit.
Why do you think they are fighting each other? And she just raises an eyebrow and winks at him.
Yeah, well, it's got the potential to be a goddamn problem.
Yes, well, don't worry. There will be someone else that comes in to clean up the mess.
Yeah, well, that doesn't help if a fucking Masquerade breach goes because those two fucking assholes, neither one of them can acknowledge, well, anyone's over them. Why is it, your group comes up every time there's fucking some weird shit going on? How come? Never mind.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer for, Tyrus.
No, I want the answer, but I'm afraid once I found it out, I'd have to do some things that might upset some members of my gang.
No. No, you do not. I stick within the traditions, always.
You need to tell your boy.
Oh, he's got his head down. He's pulled his people out.
Keep it that way.
He has. He will.
And you say somebody else is about to get involved in this fight.
They're going to clean up the mess.
I bet I know who's going to be that one. Probably the one that I tipped off to check in on. Lives by the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went and saw him one night. Told him something odd about that particular gang, and he might want to check in on it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was very interested in the one-eyed king.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking arrogant shit with his one-eyed king.
No shit.
He wasn't a king before, and he sure as
Do
hell
you
ain't no
know he's
fucking king
actually
now.
embracing willy-nilly still?
Oh, of course he is. He always has.
I know. He's calling them by his childer and grandchilder's names.
I didn't know that. That's some fucked up shit.
Yes, he is really, truly mad. He needs to be put down.
Now, there's the problem. I'm not given free rein to operate in the city, so I can't exactly turn the wolf pack loose on him.
I know. That's why I reported him to the sheriff.
Yeah, well, like I said, Sheriff,
And obviously, and I fully believe that the sheriff likely reported it to the prince.
he might have. Sheriff.
And the prince is like, no, I'm not going to touch anything.
Does anyone ever get a word in with you? I'm just curious.
No,
Okay. It's not just me?
I was not finished talking.
Okay, I'm just checking on that one. Because I figure, he's competent, they say. but he's young. I don't give a shit, whatever. He's young. And he wasn't even sheriff, 20 years ago? He's new to the sheriff game. So, I may have to get a little bit of insurance on that fucking Alexa bitch, though. Because if he's still around, Capone, she killed him.
She lied.
Exactly. I mean, it's possible, I guess, that Loden was dead too, but he came back. It's possible she failed, but I haven't known her to fuck up that badly, because she said she killed him, not that he fell.
Have you personally seen her kill anyone?
No.
I have not either. I've been in this city for 16 years. Supposedly it's open season on Thin Bloods.
Oh, she's done it. Killed a few. But I've never personally seen it.
Right.
Hey, like I said...
I'm not saying she can't.
Like I said, I can't operate in the city. I'm restricted on that one. I don't get to come play.
Yes, well. That's why you have me. I am eyes and ears, darling.
Yeah. Well, darling, is that what we're going with?
Come, Tyrus, I'm not so bad.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to go with darling, but... Yeah, so that explains a few things.
You need not worry. This will not come back on you or your pack.
It's my job to worry.
I understand, but in this case, it will not come back on you or your pack.
You say that, and just a week or so ago, I was talking with Lucinda in here. So, things get out of control a bit, and people lose control of things, and it gets a little unstable. And I know Lucinda is not your fault, okay? I'm not going to blame you for that one.
Are we done?
But goddamn, she's a bitch.
Are we done?
Oh, of course we are. You gave me what I needed, hopefully.
She turns and walks.
Okay. And when you go over to the door and bang on it, of course, Dredd opens it right up. He looks at you, looks at her, over at Tyrus, looks at you. He pulls the door closed. Okay, who got the better of who this time? Last time you got him.
Oh, he got me. It's good.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
And he comes over and he stands by your car. And when Etienne goes to get out of the car, he kind of waves his hand at Etienne. What'd you need to talk to me about? I mean, just about as private as we're going to get. He can't hear us. I know that. It's not his strength.
She leans in and whispers in his ear, I need everything you know about Flyboy.
There's an interesting question.
Want to get in the car and talk with me?
Sure, I can do that. And he looks over. Hey, Perry, I'll be back. And one of the guys on the roof just nods. He gets in the car. Flyboy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you want to know? Everything?
Everything.
Wasn't here prior to 2009. Know nothing about it. Shows up about 2009. Gets found by a goddamn neonate in the city, of all things. She found him in her area. So she staked him. Took his ass up to Jackson, to the Primogen Council. They unstaked him. Guy says he's a Marine. Well, ex-Marine. Honorable discharge, got out. Couldn't cut it. Civilian life. Didn't do well. Fell on hard times. Roaming town to town, and then got bit by somebody on the outside of town. Snatched up at a rest area, supposedly. And he pled for his life. From what I understand, Annabelle stepped forward, said some things for him, convinced the prince to not kill him, even if he is, he's one of them damn thin bloods. But Annabelle convinced the prince that he could be useful. He had flying skills. So they backed him with some money and got him set up at the O'Hare Airport. Now he handles, flights in and out for those who don't want to go near the Goblin roads. I always thought it sounded odd, I've never known that damn neonate Portia to spend a lot of time outside of Succubus Club, but she found his ass outside the Succubus Club and drug him on in there.
Really?
Yeah. But, Jackson normally is pretty harsh on the Thin Bloods. I guess he owed Annabelle something because she convinced him to let it slide. Even if he was a poacher. Didn't present, but he claimed he didn't know about that shit. And that's normal. Half these fucking Thin Bloods don't know shit about our society anyway. Not until we grab one of them and drag them in. But yeah, he runs out of the airport. He handles all kinds of import, export of kindred, gets them in and out. Been doing it probably about 5 years now, 6 years. Took him a while to build up to it. You can't just buy him that spot. What kind of, I'm not sure what's the issue on him.
The news recently about the transit agents and such getting got?
Yeah, the cover-up. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't find out what it was, but, come on. I've been here long enough. I know what a cover-up... I know what the cover-ups look like in this city. Been doing it long enough.
Well, they were an entire cell. They work through a cell structure.
SI?
Indeed. The handler remains. The handler is tied to Flyboy's charter organization. He was set up by Annabelle and her little neonate that she shacks up with.
Snooty bitch?
Mm-hmm. Who put the ward on this business, do you know?
Got a ward?
Oh, yes.
No, nothing about that.
Blacked out windows and a ward.
It's not anything I would know about. I don't really... We don't go near there because we do the Goblin roads. Flying just ain't our thing.
I got you.
It's not a motorcycle.
I got you. Huh.
We prefer to keep the wheels on the ground, you might say. Say Second Inquisition.
Yes, and I have a personal beef with them myself, so...
I might have to get in touch with Blooper, see what he knows. Remember I told you about him?
Yes.
Yeah, he's...
Do some people call him Boomer?
I think I might have heard him called that at one point. He's older guy, fought Vietnam. Got embraced there, as a matter of fact.
I heard about a Boomer some time ago.
That might be the same one. He's old enough that people would call him a boomer sometimes. But
he was, based on the information I gathered, captured.
Yes, yep, that's the same guy.
And got free.
They snatched him up.
Excellent.
He got free of it, and let's just say he has a bit of a grudge, and he's made it his business to foster that grudge. And to do what he can to be a pain in the ass to him.
He's an anarch?
I think he's more independent than anything else. As far as he's concerned, what does it matter? Your beliefs when it's us versus them.
I understand that mentality.
Said he was a vet. He got embraced in Vietnam. Getting the shit. Sabat, if you believe it.
Let him know when you speak with him that he has a potential ally.
I'll let him know. He doesn't do a lot of come in the city that often, but he may contact you if you don't mind me.
That's fine.
Where do you want me to have him try to contact you at? Want me to send him to the club or one of his people or whatever he decides?
Yes. And if he doesn't feel comfortable coming himself, he can always send someone.
He probably will. He's just going to warn you ahead of time. He's kind of not 100% stable.
Is anyone in this city?
He's a bit worse. I mean, first you got embraced by a Sabat pack in Nam. Lost his pack in Nam.
Oh, Jesus.
Came back with, frankly, enough PTSD for any 4 individuals. Then gets snatched up by Second Inquisition, who decided to experiment on his ass. Let's just say he's not the most stable of people. But he knows what he's talking about. Just don't feed his paranoia, you'll be all right.
I won't. Let Tyrus know. Lupine activity should hopefully settle down soon.
You know something? Speaking of which, what do you want to talk to you about?
The shit going on down here.
Now, I know he knows something he ain't told us.
Your leader is excessively paranoid.
Blame him?
I don't, but understand that he is cagey because of that. He is fearful for his pack.
Yeah. We're all a bit on edge right now, okay?
I understand. I do. You need to let him know that the prince has been made aware that Tally was the one who initiated the lupine aggression.
Motherfucker.
And if the prince is half as smart as he likes to project, he will actually broker a truce.
Yeah, Rosa will love that shit, won't she?
Nah,
Fuck her.
she'll lose her fucking head.
Fuck her. She ain't done shit for us. I miss the old days. You know, she ain't nearly, yeah. Well, we're not going to go into that one.
No, we won't, but yes. So hopefully things will get, once Lucinde gets her quarry that she's here for, things should hopefully calm down soon.
Yep.
At least enough to where you guys can feel like you can stretch a little.
No, we're going to stretch a little anyway. We can only be caged up so long before, we get kind of
I know.
wanderlusty.
I know.
But, okay, I'll take what you said to heart. Be safe.
Always. And you too.
I will. And I'll get with Blooper and see what I can arrange.
Perfect. Thank you.
And he kind of leans in to give you a hug. And then he steps out of the vehicle. And when he gets out, you hear him smack the top of your car to let Etienne know he can drive off. And as you start to drive off, you actually see Tyrus standing at that door just watching him as he got out of the vehicle. Dredd just casually just kind of wanders off. And now we're going to... Roscoe, you did manage to get hold of Tracy. She arranges for you to meet with her in a few nights at Park 450, south end of Tremere Domain. But before we get to that, I believe Sam wanted to have a talk with Eleanor. So I think we're going to flash to that before we go to your meeting with Tracy. Now, I will let them... Where do you two decide to meet?
I would say the club in one of the Faraday caged rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Eleanor.
Sam? Lovely to see you as always.
We haven't had a chance to talk since all this shit went down.
No.
So I'm just.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm just checking in with you. How you doing?
My impulse is to say I'm doing just fine, but that would be a lie.
No, it wouldn't. Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, emotional. Sounds about par for the course.
Is that fine or is that normal? Because I feel like those are two totally different things.
Fine. When somebody says they're fine, that's what my mind jumps to.
Oh, so when someone says they're fine, you just immediately understand that they're not fine at all. Very clever.
I
No.
can't take credit for it. It's a Steve McQueen movie or some shit.
Long time since I've seen any Steve McQueen movies. No, I'm not fine. Despite everything else, it is a lot of waiting. But of course, the thing that I am waiting on will happen in its own good time.
What is it you're waiting on?
Word about what I am wanted for. By creatures higher than myself.
I take that to mean you agreed to help them?
Oh, yes. That was not really a question. But yes, when I stayed behind with Jackie, I agreed to assist gladly.
What exactly did the form of your assistance take?
I request elaboration on that question.
Every time the tower's called on me to assist them,
Mm-hmm.
it usually involves me surviving by the skin of my teeth.
Well, I imagine this will be somewhat similar. I will not be directly harmed. That was seen to by Jackie.
Go on.
Do you ever do much hunting, Sam? Before
You
the
could
kind of
say-
hunting we do now.
You could say it was almost my raison d'etre.
So then you understand the great process of setting traps, lying in wait,
Yeah.
finding
think-
the right bait for your hook.
And that's what they want you for, is bait.
Mm, yes. And I sense that it would have been quite unpleasant. And they were willing to step down to a slightly less unpleasant method of setting me to the hook, if you will.
You should Barney style that for me, Red. You
My
probably don't know what Barney is. Shit.
I don't.
You need to explain it to me like I'm 5.
Oh, is that the reference?
See, there's this big purple Jesus.
A big purple dinosaur, yes, on the television for children,
Yeah.
which
he,
is
like-
Mhm. Which is why I will explain as if you were 5. My sire only comes when it pleases them. And in the past, it has always been when I am in some distress or danger. They can sense me.
You know, every time you're in a situation like that, you survive by diversion, displacement, and hallucination. You let, if I'm reading the room correctly, they're going to put you in distress.
By some method, I do not know what. Only that the initial idea was bargained down.
Oh, they probably wanted to, you know, put the bricks to you and make you cry
Oh,
out.
certainly. Something far worse than bricks.
And Jackie talking down. Thank you for that, Jack. Thank you.
She's a great friend. And good with words.
I know this is a personal question.
Oh, do ask.
Do you have a place you can go in here?
Dissociate, you mean? I don't know. Everything I had before is shattered. No longer a safe haven. I would have to build something new, and I do not know if I have the time.
Fuck. You can see, though, right?
See?
Into other people, into their past.
Sometimes. If I know where to look.
I'm gonna
Go ahead. Please.
I'm gonna give you something, Red.
Yes.
A place you can go.
Tell me.
Well, the night before this happened was quite possibly the only time in my life when I've had a measure of peace. And you can see stuff. So I'm gonna so I'm gonna let you see that and use that to build your own place. So that when this happens to you, you have something other than the madness and the pain and the desperation to go to. So that when you come out on the other side, there's a bit of you left. Because, well, I know what this type of stuff does to somebody. So, I don't know how it works for you. Do you gotta call on your blood or what?
Prick your thumb. And I reach out, and that little bit of vitae, I sweep it off, touch it to my tongue.
Okay.
And I'm going to premonition.
No, that's going to be fun. Okay, you know what to roll. You got to roll resolve all specs.
Yes, sir. Bosco, why hast thou failed me?
Four successes with a premonition in the club that is warded to make this more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm like right there.
As a matter, the club itself is warded to stop premonitions. It is enough to get one.
And I'm willing, so.
It is enough to get a premonition. Your vision fades off. You get a touch. You can feel pain first. Pain of loss, pain of body, pain of mind. And then feel the pain ease. And you see a vast spider web out before you, where one of the spiders seems to be hunting the prey. The prey is actually a second spider. Know what that means. But you can feel the club pushing and the wards around it pushing against that premonition. And then it collapses around you before you get any further.
Sam, describe to me where you were. That place.
Little nothing village to a lake over in Kosovo. It local warlord wanted it because it overlooked a bridge that spanned the lake. And he wanted to be able to see who was using that bridge. And he didn't care too much for who was living there. So we were doing everything we could to keep the people there safe. We got out all the people we could, but some couldn't make the trip. Long story short, we had pasted him a good one, taken out a significant portion of his forces in that previous skirmish. And they had retreated to the other side of the range. So we had a couple of nights apiece where we were able to get the people out that could get out, and the ones that stayed were bringing us food and beer and generally trying to thank us. And, you know, me and my brain, I wasn't partaking. I was trying to shore up defenses and whatnot. And that's when she came along. She had recruited me to her team back in Joburg, Johannesburg, South Africa. And in working with her, you know, I started to learn a better way to be, maybe you could say. But that night, she and I that was it. That was the thing that allowed me to make the transition into the unlife we find ourselves in now, was by holding on to that one bit of peace. And I reckon, you know, Bosco, he brought me here with a purpose, and this is part of that, protecting you. And if doing this will help, that's what I got to do.
You have helped quite a lot. I can see your village by the lake.
Good. Just what I think is going to happen happens. That's where you go. And don't come back till it's done.
Understand.
I gotta go, Red.
Understand. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah. And Sam will. Yeah, Red.
Take care of yourself, please.
Yeah. Sure. Sam will leave.
And Sam and Eleanor go their separate ways this evening. We're going to come back to Eleanor in a little bit, but first, we actually need to flash over to Roscoe. Roscoe, you've been told to meet Tracy Graves in a Park 450 on the south part of the Tremere domain. Now, when you arrive there, she's dressed almost like a flapper. The oddest damn thing. Brown hair, severe bangs cut across the front. I mean, a hard line on them, wide green eyes. She's beautiful, but almost like a painting more than a person. And I want you to first roll wits awareness before we go any further with this one. Need to see what you notice as you approach. 3. Are you willpowering that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Willpower 2 dice on that one. 3 so far. Let's see if we can get more, or if the curse remains. You seem to have passed it around to other people at the table tonight. 4. There's a flush to her skin, to her hair, to her eyes. You're not sure she's using blush of life, but oddly enough, she still looks awful alive for a kindred. And when you come up, she looks at you and smiles, comes over and actually gives you a hug. Been a while, Roscoe.
Yeah, it has. How have you been?
Been busy, keeping an eye on things. And she points out, and you can see just over the road, over through the underpass, Chinatown. From where you're standing now, you can actually see the boundaries defined for Chinatown. Keeping an eye on things.
Interesting choice of places to surveil.
Well, that's what I do most of the time. You know? That's what I do. But not used to seeing you coming up and wanting to hang out with me. I'd heard rumors you and Sun Chi were hanging out.
Well, you know, I mean, who wouldn't want to come talk craft with you?
Well, a number of people wouldn't, obviously.
Well.
But I didn't bring her up for no reason. Have you seen her lately?
I have. Well, not exactly in the last few nights, but yeah, we didn't exactly get off very well together that time. It ended on kind of a sour note.
Now, if you see her, tell her stay away from the Chantry.
Well, that's generally good advice for anybody.
No, Abraham's looking for her, and I don't like the look on his face.
Okay.
I don't know what he's got planned, but let's just say I'm not comfortable with. He's not one for any real urgency, but he's all for urgent about finding her.
Really? Okay.
I mean, there's no secret we don't exactly get along, him and I, so let's not make his job easier.
Oh, I agree. Okay. That's fine with me. I will, not sure how well it's going to go next time I get in touch with her, though, to even to try to warn her about it.
No. I figured, I mean, you have a better chance than I do. I haven't seen her in quite a while, but, you know, people talk.
Yeah,
Heard about you, too.
What'd you hear?
Well, you two been spending some time in her tea shop that she liked to go to.
Yeah, there were certain things about her that weren't quite exactly as they seem.
Well, yeah, but we all know about her little friend.
Okay.
Trust me, that's not a secret.
It was for me. I was quite surprised.
Well, yeah, but you spend more time in your books than other things.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But I know you didn't come here for me to talk to you about Sun Chi.
No, but there might be some questions in that general regard. I don't know if you can answer them or not, but
Might be able to.
the reason I came to talk to you, and it is very much about our craft. We noticed. Have you had occasion to come into my coteries club?
No, I haven't been by there yet. I'm not the club type normally.
You should. It's if not for the club life, or unlife, as it were, you should probably check out some of our handiwork that we did on it.
You don't have to be circumspect here. We're in the middle of a park. What do you mean our handiwork? What have you done to it?
Well, did you meet Jonathan Berkeley?
Oh, yes, I met him.
I mean, he's gone away on.
Well, that's what I was told, but yeah, I met him. Little fucker had Docheskis working for him.
Mm-hmm. As part of that work he had them do, our club currently resides in the place that was previously had some hellacious wards on it. Now we studied them and managed to duplicate some of their function that keeps pretty much everything out. Makes it very difficult for anyone to have an eye on us.
Define keeps everything out. Okay, keep an eye on you, so you've got something protecting from being observed. But you suggest it's more than that.
Well, there's some pretty intricate runes that are protecting it. Some wards on the club. Now I don't think we exactly discovered the entire depth of all of them, but we figured out some that we were able to use to cover the inside of the club to keep us safe.
I'm not that big on wards, but wait a minute though. Your club, didn't I hear something about a dust up with a Sabbat in that area?
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. One of the best people I know of wards. Strange to say this. He's one of us, but he's not part of the chantry. His name's Arden Canty. I mean, he's talked to Abraham a few times, but he's kind of outside of things, I guess you might say. He's the best one I've known about very intricate wards, which is funny because he actually had no formal training. He was embraced as Sabbat kind of thing and just left. And then he kind of, his real knack, you might say, for wards.
Really? That's good to know. Is there any way you could...
I mean, you can go find him. You normally go find him at the Holy Family Church Rectory.
Okay.
Oddest thing running out of a church like that, but...
Oh, well, not actually that weird, considering where our club is.
Yeah, well, you know, I get your point, but...
I mean, actually, he was a church at one point.
Yeah, but he's known to preach from his. And, I mean, I've gotten word. I haven't been to it because, I don't know, I got too much going on anyway, plus... But preaching some odd shit in there, and it gets evangelical about it, but some of the stuff he's talking, like the weirdest one I heard was Cain was actually an angel.
Really? How did he back that up?
He doesn't have to. I mean, that's the thing about preaching. You don't normally back it up. You just spout up all this drivel. And, you know, your congregation just soaks that shit up, and, you know. But, yeah, Cain was an angel, and life on earth is hell. And once we get done with this hell, we'll get to go further. Some odd stuff he's preaching. I don't get that.
So how did he think that Cain was able to let us do that?
Got me on all that, but it's some weird ass fucking church. I'm telling you, it's some strange shit. I mean, you're free to go out there, but watch out. I mean, I've heard him try to explain that shit to Abraham once, and even Abraham's like, don't bring that shit up in my chantry. That's why he's not in the chantry anymore. You know, that's why he's been expelled.
Just as well.
Yeah. He's been kicked out for it, but he's one of the best ones I've known about wards. So if you want to get information on wards, he's the one who can tell you.
I definitely need to. Maybe some of it's part of his handiwork that he'd done in the past, or maybe there's some other places that he'd done.
I know he's taken up, I might say commissions, but whatever, favors, whatever you want to call it. He's put wards on places for people in the past. Normally he just, you know, gets trades for it, does it for people as favors, kind of a thing. That was him and Nikolai had issues. Nikolai, you know, the previous
Mm-hmm.
Regent in the
your
area.
friend.
They had issues with that because Nikolai didn't care about the boons on that, said that we shouldn't be, just fucking willy-nilly and running around
Mhm.
doing stuff like that. And, we're not supposed to be using our powers for the other clans unless,
That's true.
officially, of course, to support
Right.
the prince and the tower and the pyramid. But other than that, like I said, it's not my area of expertise. Mine's something totally different. And she kind of looks over at Chinatown,
You feeling there's some big trouble over there?
You can't feel it? Feel it from
Oh
here.
yeah. It's I think we might be mixed up a bit in it.
It's wait. Whoa. Back up. You might be mixed in it a little bit.
Well,
You know the rule about going into Chinatown, right?
oh yes, absolutely. Haven't gone there, not going to.
Okay. Then how in the fuck are you getting mixed in it if you're not going into Chinatown?
Well, this is kind of the fallout of that bad time I had with Sun Chi. Her friend who inhabits her, well, she's not really a friend. Seems to talked a little bit about that before she stalked off after our last encounter.
I'm pretty sure that whatever's going on in there isn't what's in her head.
I think they're related somehow. I haven't pieced it together yet. This kind of more
So
of an
much-
adversarial.
So much I wish
Relationship.
I could tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Can't. Some of it I can't remember.
No, I'm not going to pry. Besides, that gives me a reason to see you later.
She smiles a bit at that. Good try.
Have to.
But if you're involved with something that the J Demon has nothing to fuck with.
No, I understand that. I just don't know why. I mean, I know why not to mess with the J Demon, but I have no idea why.
But that's not
Sun Chi has had any.
J Demon isn't even. It's the abyssal school of the demons of Jade. That's
That makes it sound like there's more than one.
that fucking shitheel Nikolai took what I wrote and he paraphrased it down because, as he said, Prince Jackson isn't going to, or actually at the time it was Loden. Prince Loden isn't going to be able to understand it anyway, so we'll make it simple for him.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what the school part was. No clue. But needless to say, it's a problem. And if you're caught up in it, stay the fuck out of Chinatown.
That's generally the plan anyway. But
They won't come out here. But if you go in there, you're fair game.
no, I understood. No, I'm not going in there. Nobody I know is planning on going in there either.
And I don't think even Jackson wants to pay the price of 85 pounds of gold. That's part of the punishment for that.
That's oddly specific.
Oddly, a lot of gold.
Yeah. Well, yes.
I don't know. I don't remember most of the details. That's about all I can talk on that. But if you're caught up, stay away from Chinatown.
Okay, so stay away from Chinatown. Stay away from the Chantry.
I mean, you're free to go to the Chantry. Just tell Sun Chi to stay away from it.
Well, I take that as a general warning.
Yeah, I've noticed you don't hang out there much.
No,
It might be why you're allowed to go to Elysium. You know, the rest of us have been forbidden that, right?
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why am I special that way?
I have no damn clue. But, I mean, this has been going on a little while. But, yeah, Jackson has said we're not allowed at Elysia right now.
Really?
Yeah. Ain't that a bitch?
It is. We need to be there to see and be seen.
Yeah, not us. Well,
Well.
you can.
Odd that I haven't heard anything about that. But whatever.
Well, you weren't under the restriction. If you were, you'd have heard about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but why am I not under that restriction is what's bothering me.
It's a damn good question, and one that I actually asked Abraham about.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't answer me. He just told me to get out of his office.
Probably had a meeting set up with his tenant in the chantry.
Yeah. You mean that little Torador? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I had better things to do anyway. Fuck it. I didn't want to go to damn Elysia anyway. Every time I went there, that stuck-up bitch was... Annabelle was fucking running her mouth. No, by your silence, I see you've dealt with her before.
Oh, I have. Just let her say her thing and let her go.
No, it's easy to say that.
Well, as long as she doesn't take an interest in you, it's fairly easy to.
Took an interest in Sun Chi and kept goading her, trying to get her friend to come out.
Oh, really? But certainly, it didn't take that much on my part to have that happen.
Yeah, we'll probably have to have a talk with it about that at some point because I'm curious about that situation.
Well, I'd be glad to talk to you about it.
But it's not the night to do it. I've got other things, and I just figured since I was going to be nearby, I'd have a talk with you about this.
Well, it's great to see you.
Yeah, I mean, if you really do want to find out, pop over to the church, look up Arden.
I will.
He knows a lot about wards.
I really will, because I'd like to find out more about the wards that are on our club.
No, I bet.
Find out.
Because, I mean, I couldn't do what you're claiming has been done to your
I
club.
couldn't
I
either.
couldn't do it.
I mean, like I said, we learned a little bit about it, but there were other intricacies about those wards that we just didn't decipher.
Yeah.
So.
Generally, as far as I'm aware, you can't multi-layer wards on the exact same spot like that. You do them, you can layer them, but not on top of each other. You have to space them. And
this we managed to have a continuous coverage.
Yeah, see, that's odd. But he'd know.
All right, thank you for that. I mean, that's going to be really an interesting conversation.
Hey, nothing off me as long as I don't have to go meet him.
I'll see if he has any books or tracks he'd like you to have.
Yeah, good luck.
Okay.
He can't really help me with what I'm doing now. I'd like to get some of your old books, but I'm pretty sure you lost those at one point, didn't you?
My shop does seem to have a tendency to burn, but it always rises from the ashes every time.
Yeah, but those orders don't seem to let our kind hold on to books anymore.
No.
I'll get one from them eventually. It's a matter of time. But I'll talk with you.
Okay, Tracy, it was great to see you. You're looking fantastic.
Well, I mean, I look the same as I do every day. I'm waiting. This flapper look, it comes in and out of style. I just keep wearing it. It'll come back eventually.
It suits you. You look great.
Gets me a lot of attention, which makes feeding a bit easier anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And she smiles at that. Keep your beast in control.
I'll try.
She turns and walks off, leaving you a very odd, thought. Why would she use those exact words?
Mm-hmm.
And now we flash back to Eleanor, who has spent time with Sam and is returning to her haven. And when you get there, there's an individual there. Well, actually, there's 3 individuals waiting in your haven.
In my haven?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
3 of them. And you recognize all 3. When you come in, Lucinda's looking around at your doll collection. Natasha's looking out the window, and Michaela trying to act like he belongs there, standing by the door when you come in.
Oh. Well, good evening, friends. If I had known you would be arriving, I would have cleaned the furniture so that you might have a place to sit
Cinda turns.
while you waited.
Oh, good evening, Eleanor. Oh, don't worry, I'm used to long periods of time on my feet. Very interesting. Collect dolls.
Yes. I have done for a long time.
I guess there's a certain kind of logic to that, given the name your sire goes by.
Yes. That was indeed connected to the logic.
Are you ready?
Yes. At your pleasure.
He's here, but he didn't want to be in the room when you walked in. He's strange.
Shy.
Would never call him shy. He is malleable in an odd way.
I see.
I'm sure you'll notice when he comes in. And she goes, leans past you. She's in here now, Twitch. You can come in the room. And you hear a door open behind you, the bathroom. And a man steps out. I'm going to let you first roll, wits awareness, perhaps. That's a good one. I always hate trying to figure out what to roll to remember somebody. Wits awareness will work for that one.
Yeah, wits awareness seems to make sense.
Because he's wearing purple shirt, button-up shirt. It's unbuttoned. First 3 buttons are unbuttoned. Suit jacket over it. He's got some sort of rope necklace around his neck. 3 successes. Vaguely familiar, but you don't know from where. And the moment he sees you, his clothes shift. Clothes, same face, same person. Goes from this button-up shirt with a suit jacket to a man wrapped in a blanket to a guy in a full suit with a white shirt under it to a man rocking uncontrollably in a hoodie, of all things. And it flickers faster and faster, his outfits, till it settles on one. Stands before you wearing monk's robes, with a cowl thrown back off his shoulders. Daughter of Malkat.
Seems to me oddly familiar. Have we met before?
Many times.
I see.
And never. And he kind of looks down and looks almost shocked at what he's suddenly wearing. Long time since this. Do you know why they brought me here?
I have a suspicion.
I have to make good a mistake I made. And unfortunately, it is a mistake that you paid the price for.
I see.
I mean, we make mistakes. But in this case, it was one I knew better. Cannot achieve balance by creating something unbalanced.
Balance.
Of course. cosmos craves balance. Our society craves balance. And the kind need balance from us. I was young. We're all young once.
I suppose that is true. And with Dolly, you sought balance.
I sought to create one who could make the balance. Do what needed to be done to ensure balance. But you know, if you put your finger on a scale and you weigh it, it's not balanced. If your thumb is removed, it goes off kilter again. It's my mistake.
And yet you think this will right that balance and that you do not already have your hand weighted upon the scale, even so? By merely being here?
Some things can't be fixed, but you can make sure going forward that they no longer influence things.
An eccentricity like you see sometimes in trees. They grow awry.
Much the same as you prune a bush. Prune it to change the shape, to change the path it grows.
Well, you have a great hedge to prune, it seems.
A mountain. But it can be done. Well, I hope.
I suppose we'll see.
Have faith in the Lord, my child.
Which one?
Sorry. That mask is long gone for me. Odd it speaks up tonight.
Interesting. Perhaps appropriate.
Perhaps. We'll see. I did have faith once.
No longer?
There is no Lord that would condemn us to what we are. I'm going to do some things it will not hurt. I don't know if you'll find it unpleasant. Going to evoke false memories. Send through the web. For you see, because you are strong, seeing the future, I am strong in the web. Dolly is. We'll use that against them. Do not be alarmed. Whatever you see is not real. I but need your hand. And I need Natasha's.
Well, I am prepared.
And when Twitch takes your hand, as soon as you touch it, once again you see a flashing. This time it's in your mind, going backwards. You actually see the same man in these same robes at a tavern, preaching hellfire and brimstone of the plague that swept through the town. And then you can feel the thirst that consumed him and the anger at it all. And when he touches Natasha, and the three of you are linked, you actually catch glimpses of her. Life on the street, abused, cast out, till she was fed upon by a random Malkavian who left her with nothing, no memories, what it meant to be kindred. And then memories slam into you. And you see you're being chased. Feel it. They're pursuing you. Cinda's face. Natasha's. Kayla's. Chasing you down an alley to punish you for your sire's sins. And as you reach the end of the alley, your memory shows it's blocked by Sam and Roscoe to prevent you escaping. And then your memory fades as Twitch snatches his hand out of yours. That was painful. And his outfit is beginning to flicker in your vision. The wind, it's here. I must go. I can't hold on anymore. And Lucinda, you can hear her make a softest noise in the back of her throat as he flees the room. I warned you he was malleable.
Yes.
I did not warn you that he's malleable when he touches others.
But I should have guessed.
Well, we have done what we will. I will be following you. You will be watched. Whether you know it or not, you'll be protected. When they come, we will be there.
Well, I will continue to wait and be watchful for that moment.
The tower thanks you for your loyalty and your assistance.
My eternal loyalty to the tower.
That's what we ask. Michaela, Natasha, come. She's probably tired after this event. She will need some rest. And they leave you alone. And this is where we're going to end this episode. And I will say, what was done to Eleanor was not what was originally planned. Jackie had bartered much less. And I don't think this hurt Eleanor in any way. Though it is odd to be caught into that situation. And I would like to thank the players and, of course, the viewers for the viewer vote. The viewer vote this week, I think there was a whole lot of everyone's this week. I'm going to double check right now because I forgot to check before we went and started this. Yeah, I'm seeing nothing but symbols across the screen. So it looks like our viewers are starting to catch wise to the everyone game, and everyone gets the viewer vote this week. I'm going to have to change that one because guess what? That's a problem. course, pop on the Discord, vote for everyone. I'm joking. If you want to vote for everyone, please do. This coterie is XP starved and they want it really bad. So please pop onto the Discord, vote for who gets the viewer vote this week for any reason whatsoever. Go ahead, do it. Of course, if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe here on Twitch. Give us a follow. If you're on YouTube, subscribes are free. Bits and donations, they go to these wonderful players, not to Relin or I, that we're the studio. We don't get any of the bits and donations. That goes to the players. If you want to check the back episodes, go to YouTube. Check out the back episodes. If you want to get some cool merchandise, hey, we got merch. Get you some Windy City merch. We've got, season 4 merch. My pictures are correct this week. At least they better be, because I didn't do them right last time. I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, friends. Check out our amazing friends over here. So one of the people on that friends list, Ravnos Archon, he is returning to our server as part of running a mage game. You're going to see the cast has been announced. 2 of the people in the mage game are right here, right now in this game. So get ready to watch some mage. It's going to be awesome. Frankly, I can't wait to see it. So the rest of the schedule this week. Monday, tomorrow, we are back. Haunted Chronicles. Tam Shu is back. Damn. Just saying, damn. His first episode of the season, he killed one of the players off. How many more is he going for his final season? I guess we know why it's the final season. There won't be any players left by the end of it because he's planning to murder them all. This Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we have a special one-shot. It is not Saturday, 3 p.m.?
Nope. Not when this one streams.
Nope, they're right. That's right. It was past week. I am not used to doing this. I'm always a week off with this. Let me pull up the other schedule. That's a better way to do it. Okay, so, see, there's the problem with this one. This weekend is the second. We have no stream this Saturday.
No, we have my one-shot on Wednesday.
Hang on. I'm looking. Yep, Wednesday. Okay, yeah, see, I'm way off on this. Wednesday we have, yes, Relin's You Will Destroy Something Beautiful. She's back for the final You Will Destroy Something Beautiful, the last one of this amazing one-shots, but it's a series of one-shots where she's gone through and gotten, 3 different people each time. This will be number 5. So played with 15 different people as they tried to destroy something beautiful. I can't wait to see how this one plays out. I haven't seen it. I don't get to see it until everyone else does. There is no stream Saturday this week, though. That is open. But we are prepping for our big October push, everyone. October is National Breast Cancer Month. We are raising funds for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. We have a number of streams, all of them. All streams in October are going towards this amazing charity. And when I say we have a jam-packed schedule, Windy City, Haunted Chronicles, Mage, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Paranoia, Zasser Kala, The Way Home, Call of Cthulhu. Holy crap. It is a hell of a schedule. We've got an amazing group of storytellers and players coming in on that. Please watch the streams, donate when October starts, give money to an amazing foundation. They do a lot for women, not just direct treatment, but they also help with the mental side of it. There's retreats for women that are going through issues with breast cancer. They are a great, great charity. And we did this last year for a single stream. This year we're doing it for the whole month. So please catch that, support that. And we look forward to seeing you for it. I'm trying to make sure I covered everything. I think I got all the major parts of that. Everyone, please take mental health seriously, please. It's not a laughing matter. It's a very serious subject. Check in on family, check in on friends, check in on loved ones. Make sure they're okay, because a lot of us aren't. A lot of us continue to not be okay. And sometimes we just need somebody to reach out a hand to help us out. And if you do suffer from mental health issues, please don't hesitate to reach out to those around you. And if you don't feel you have anyone you can reach out to, right now in chat, there's a list of numbers. You can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even a website, if you're not in the U.S., that you can actually go to and find out the support in your country and talk to somebody who will help you, who is willing to help you and will listen and will be that lifeline that you need, because we're in this together and it's a hard time for everybody, but only way we're going to get through it is to each other. And mental health is health. Same thing. You go to a doctor when you need help, reach out to others when you need mental health, okay? Because even if you're not at our table, we care, and we want to make sure everyone's doing okay. And I'm going to turn it for my wife to do her COVID part, because she's our nicest mean nurse you'll ever meet. So
Please go get your COVID vaccine. Please. Please go do it. If you haven't done it, please stop putting it off. Please stop acting like this isn't a disease that you can help prevent deaths with. You can get the vaccine, please.
yeah, exactly on that part. Don't pretend it can't. It's something that we can't deal with. We can. The vaccine is there, and it's free. They're giving the vaccine. Just take it, please. You don't want to be in the hospital. Our hospital system is overstressed, overworked, and the nurses are quitting because of that and other systemic problems. So please get your vaccine, stay healthy, and join us on all our other streams. Join us next week for Windy City. Shit's going down. And once again, I thank the players and the viewers. And I will see you all hopefully next time. Good night, everybody.